Hey everyone, I've got a couple requests to do a makeup tutorial for brushes, makeup brushes, what they're for, what they're used for. I just want to start off by saying there's no rules to what you do with makeup, no rules on how you use each brush, how you have to use each brush. So do whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you use a certain brush for something and it works the absolute best, better than any other brush that you could possibly imagine, keep doing it. Um, if a brush like this thick works for, I don't know, lipstick application, hey, if it works, right? So I'm just going to tell you things that I use and the things that I've got to know over the years and things that work for me. So you don't necessarily have to go ahead and follow these things, but just some tips and tricks for those of you who have asked, or for those of you who have wanted to know. Um, I don't want to go to clients' places to do their makeup and I pull out my big stash of makeup brushes. Everyone's like, why do you need so many brushes? What are they all for? But each one is for something different. Like I use so many different brushes, and you could possibly get away with using the same brush for a couple different things. But for me, that's what works. So I'll show you first of all some face brushes, and these are obviously ones that you mainly use for your face. These are the four brushes that I'm going to talk about. So for foundation, you want to get a smooth and flawless finish. You want to blend it all into the hairline and to your ears, onto your neck. You don't want a ghost face in your pictures. So when you put it on, like you can apply it with a sponge, apply it with your fingers, apply it with whatever, but buff it out. So blend it all in. And what I use, my number one favorite thing to use for foundation is this Sephora Pro brush. It's number 55, or an airbrush finish. Now, the thicker the brush is, the more of a blended out look you're going to get compared to a brush that's like this. So this is a flat foundation brush. This one's on an angle. It's a smaller one than the 191, which is the main one a lot of people use. But you can use this to actually apply, it into the places on your face, and then use something fluffier to buff it out if you want an airbrushed finish. It's totally up to you how you want to apply it. Some people just go ahead and use their hands. Some people continue to use these kinds of brushes. They work as well, but these ones, it does tend to leave a lot of streaking, which you don't want. You don't want streaks on your face. Just doesn't look good. There's another brush that MAC carries. A lot of people carry this. A lot of people like to use these types of brushes, and they're called stippling brushes. And this is a MAC 187 for blending out foundation as well. They work really, really well. The white bit is a lot softer than the black bristles at the bottom. So you can use it to either dab your foundation on into place. You can blend it all out like this. It's totally up to you how you want to use this. I personally don't like this MAC brush because I've tried to wash this. I've tried to tame this thing, but you end up with black furry bits all over your face. And now these bristles come out clearly a lot more than they should. I'm sure there's a lot more brushes out there that would work with the stippling action compared to this MAC one. Not really my favorite. So if it works for you, hey, go ahead and use it. But again, I don't like it. Okay, so this is the famous brush that a lot of people ask me about, and it's in every single video of mine. And this is what I use for concealer. This is the Sephora Pro as well, and I believe it's the number 57. Yes, 57. I like to use this brush because it's fluffy again, and it's going to give you that smoother finish than, for example, a flatter brush like this that would leave probably a bit of streaking and some obvious lines, which you do not want. Some people like to use their fingers. I actually used to use my fingers, and it worked really well until I found this brush. So nothing really can replace this brush for me at the moment. And if you do get a chance to try it, I suggest you do try that out. So it's the Sephora Pro number 57. Okay, for a face brush, I like to use something really fluffy. So that's something like this. The next kind of brush that a lot of people look at in my kit and wonder what the heck to use that for. And I know even if you see it in the store, you kind of wonder, like, what could that be used for? And this is for a couple different things. So you can use this however you want to use this. I use it for mainly cleaning up eyeshadow fallout. So when you do your eyeshadow and bits drop over here, take this and lightly run it over and sweep it off. It's like a broom. You can sweep all that stuff off of your face. Super soft, feels really, really nice. Another thing a lot of people use this for is for highlighting. So you can apply any sort of highlight on your cheekbones or, even on the nose. Wherever you really want to apply any sort of highlight, that would work well for that as well. So this is not a must in every kit, but I have used this. What I like to use to contour is an angled brush like this. So as you can tell, it's already shaped for you, so you don't really have to sort of figure out which way to hold the brush. You just kind of place it along your face, and that's it. There you go. It fits right into where it needs to fit, so you can do that on both sides. Another brush you can use for contouring is a thick brush like this. Now, I use this brush a lot for mainly applying blush on my face, so it's fluffy enough that I don't have to sit there blending everything out, and it works. Now, you can also use a brush like this for applying contour. So all you do is squish the brush and make it flat. So instead of being round, you squish it and make it flat. Now, a lot of makeup artists do this too. So instead of grabbing a million different brushes, you go ahead and flatten this brush and you apply it right along the cheekbones, or right along where you need to contour. So right in here, and then your regular brush for blush, bronzer, whatever. So thick fluffy brush, that's what I use that for. This is a MAC 263. This one has the synthetic fibers. I use for eyeliner. That's for gel eyeliners, and that fits right along the top of your eye. It's super thin and precise, so that's what that's for. Another couple things you can use this kind of a brush for is brushing out your eyelashes before you apply any mascara, because when you're doing eyeshadow and it drops in your eyelashes, if you're wearing a really light colored eyeshadow and you don't brush your eyelashes out or don't clean them at all, just apply your mascara over top, a lot of the times on the top part of it, you can still see that whole bit of white eyeshadow, which looks pretty funny. And if you can avoid it, brush it out or put fake eyelashes on top. You can also use this kind of a brush for if you dip it into eye makeup remover, you can use it to remove any mascara that you might have left on your eye, which works a lot better because it gets right into the eyelashes compared to you pulling at them or doing whatever you need to do. It'd be better to use. So that's the spoolie. Now for eyeliner, again, I showed you the MAC 263 brush, and I like to use this one by Bobbi Brown. It's an ultra fine eyeliner brush, and it's super small, and it's really, really thin. Now, I don't know if you can see that or not, but my hands are probably shaking like crazy. But it's really thin, and I like to use this when I'm applying a thicker eyeliner, I would say. And then I like to use the 263 when I'm applying a thinner eyeliner. This works well because you can twist it, you can turn it. You can make the whole width of this brush the thickness of your eyeliner, if that makes sense. So I like to use this brush for that. Now, one of the brushes that I like to use to apply eyeshadow all over my eye is a thicker brush like this. So this is a thicker, fluffy brush, and as you can tell, it would cover my whole entire eyelid. So this is for something if you want to do, one color all over the eyelid real quick, or even underneath the eyebrow. I like to use a thicker, fluffier brush because I don't like a really thin line underneath my eyebrow. I like it spread out, and this requires less blending. So this is more for an all-over eyeshadow color. The first one here is the white MAC 222. Now this is the one that I use almost every single day, and I don't necessarily use it to blend out. I just use it for the crease, so it looks blended out. So when you apply a shadow with a fluffy brush, like I've said, you need to do less blending. So when I apply any color along the crease with this, I don't need to blend as much. So this I use a lot for the crease. That's a MAC 222. This is a Smashbox number 10, and I really like this brush. There's nothing wrong with it. I use it here and there. I don't use it all the time. I should probably use it a little bit more, but it works really, really well for blending things out. So again, that's a Smashbox number 10. The last brush that you guys have probably seen in a lot of my videos is the MAC 224. That's this one here, and this I can use for blending anything I need. So I use this a lot for any sort of blending. This is my main go-to blending brush, and that's the number 224 by MAC. It works really, really well. The MAC 239. And it's flat, so if you need to apply any sort of eyeshadow where you want the color to stand out or stick or be vibrant, you need to pat it on with a flat brush. You can use this for the corners, you can use this to pat eyeshadow on, you can use this for pigments. This is a really versatile brush, but it's more for packing things on. So like I was saying, there's really no rules to what you have to do with makeup and what you don't have to do. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. If you don't like any of the ideas that I gave you, hey, use whatever works for you, right? So there's just a couple things like you need to keep in mind, like you're not going to use this to, do your eyebrows. Like it's just, there's things that are common sense, which I'm sure all of you are already aware of, but if you have any other questions and I didn't touch on something, comment below and I'll try my best to respond as soon as possible for that. So last thing I want to do here is a giveaway. Isn't that so nice? You can use this for, there's a lot of Christmas parties coming up. I know New Year's, this would be really, really nice for New Year's. It would match whatever you want. So this is actually a cosmetic bag, so you can use this for putting your, stuff in. You put your credit cards in it. You can put your makeup in it. You can use this as a brush holder, whatever you want to do. But it's super cute, and yeah, I know for a fact you guys are going to enjoy this. So I'm not exactly sure on what the rules are yet, but I will post them as soon as I figure it out in the description box there for you guys. And I will announce the winner next week. So that's for this cosmetic bag by Quote.